Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. I'm in Mark chapter 14, verses 43 to 52. I hope we can have a Bible study today, seated across the table from each other with our Bibles open. I'll share my interpretation. You share what God has laid on your heart, and then feel free to comment on what I say. Whether you agree or disagree, it's fine. So let's start in verse 43. And immediately, while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. He that betrayed him had given him a token, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, take him and lead him away safely. And as soon as he was come, he goeth straightway to him and saith, Master, Master, and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of them that stood by drew a sword, and smote a servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Are ye come out as against a thief, with swords and with staves, to take me? I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and you took me not. But the scriptures must be fulfilled. And they all forsook him and fled. And there followed him a certain young man, having a linen cloth cast about his naked body. And the young men laid hold on him. And he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. Okay, now, let's start with verses 43 and 44. And immediately while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. And he that betrayed him had given them a token, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Take him and lead him away safely. This was apparently a custom at the time. We don't feel comfortable with this today in America, but sometimes people will hug you. I personally don't feel comfortable with such familiarity. A handshake or a nod or a smile are good enough for me. This is probably easier in a church under persecution. Perhaps by necessity, they must trust each other and be close. And you can see this in Romans 16:16, 1 Corinthians 16:20, 2 Corinthians 13:12, and 1 Thessalonians 5:26, where Paul commands them to give each other a holy kiss. It's funny that fundamentalists who insist on long hair and justice for women and no women preachers don't seem to have a problem ignoring these verses. I don't recall ever seeing a fundamentalist giving a holy kiss and doubt if they would even know what one was. But beware of such a kiss. Genesis 29:13. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house, and he told Laban all these things. So you know what happened between Laban and Jacob. 2 Samuel 15:4. Absalom said, moreover, Oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit of cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. We know what Absalom was doing. 2 Samuel 20, verses 9 and 10. And Joab said to Amasa, Art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the fifth rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, pursued after Sheba, the son of Bichri. So, you know what happened there with Joab. Now, verse 45. And as soon as he was come, he goeth straightway to him and saith, Master, Master, and kissed him. This was the signal. Judas called him Master. Verse 46. And they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of them that stood by drew a sword, smote a servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. Now, Jesus heals him as related in Luke 22:51. In 48 to 50, it says, And Jesus answered and said unto them, Are ye come out as against a thief, with swords and with staves, to take me? I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and you took me not. But the scriptures must be fulfilled. And they all forsook him and fled. Now here's Zechariah 13:7 as a reference. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against that man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. In verse 51 and 52 says, And there followed him a certain young man having a linen cloth cast about his naked body, and the young men laid hold on him. And he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. Now, commentators throughout history have tried to guess who this was. I've heard some wild stories about this, read some wild stories, so radical, like this was an angel, or that this might have been Paul as Saul. But we don't know who it was, really. I assume it was the Apostle John, who was the youngest of the 12. So, in any event, we'll stop there, hit it in 53 next, verse 53. I'm asking you to open your Bible, let God speak to you through his word. I'm asking you to study your Bible, cross-reference the verses. Both of those things before, pray to God for wisdom and understanding. And share your interpretation with someone else. You can purchase my comments on Amazon, read them for free on blogger.com. I'll post links below. But if you watch this video this far, Please click like and subscribe or follow and share the video with someone else. I look forward to your comments. You may have a lot more to say than I did. I just want to move the text, move it forward as far as understanding what it actually says. So there's a lot of sermons can be preached and have been preached out of that passage. All right. Thank you.